Discussion a little further. I'm now joined in studio by Prince Debo Adesina, who's the brand ambassador for the African Diaspora Forum. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Welcome to the program.
How are you, Peter?
All right, so it's quite disturbing, these incidents that have happened. As many as 60 trucks in the last few weeks, but it seems as if it's escalating in the last few days.
No, actually, I was privy to heard from a friend of mine that just got back from Zimbabwe that on Friday he was at the border and he heard one of the drivers that said it's likely there could be an attack on trucks. So he wasn't really taking it, something very serious. That's they want to show the new minister to be on his toe in terms of Fikile, the transport minister, in order for them to look for the minister to look into the issue around these truck drivers so that they can balance it and see where.
So this was a Zimbabwean driver who came in and he says he's got intelligence that there are likely going to be burnings taking place.
A Zimbabwean driver telling another Zimbabwean guy going out of South Africa to Zimbabwe about likely an attack on foreign nationals
in Zimbabwe,
in South Africa,
okay,
that are drivers of trucks.
Okay. So he found out that this was
and
likely.
This thing happened now. It shows that there has been kind of like pre-arrangements around such.
So from your understanding and talking to some of these drivers, what is the source of tension?
Well, actually, I think with what we've gathered, because immediately I was told about likely attack in terms of intelligence reports, I'm not too really into such, except maybe I'm practically given the opportunity or deployed for such. But I understand that the guys that are drivers, they love doing it, and some of those guys are well experienced. I know of a guy that has been driving long distance for more than 30 years. So it's a kind of tension that people, the local might look at these guys from Zimbabwe. For instance, you hardly see a Nigerian doing truck driving work. So it's likely the SADC guys that knows their way in and out of the country coming to South Africa, maybe from Mozambique.
So you're saying that these truck operators are employing foreign nationals because A, they have a lot of experience, and B, perhaps some skills in terms of getting across borders that they've built over time, I guess, with relationships, and that makes them valuable to them.
Yeah, this is not just a job that you and I can just wake up in the morning and say we want to drive long distance. Even if let me say, for instance, you're the best so-called driver, there's some stuff that you have to learn. And these are something that not really something you can easily get from the local. And the business guys will always want to keep the business rolling. So, definitely is a way of the local showing their anger towards the government, and the foreign national will always be targeted because they are the one that goes for it.
So what do you say then about these accusations that a lot of these drivers are not properly documented and that they don't have the papers to be able to work for South African truck operators?
Well, in terms of documentation, have been here engaging around this issue of illegal migrants. It's going to be a very big debate once more, because as long as we understand that people, once you are in the country and maybe you have the valid driver license, and it's something that is not that maybe you're going to be 100% in the country, you have to be going, sometimes they drive for 10 days to cross the border with their truck, whatever. So giving them, maybe they can now prioritize the area of giving these special skills. They should be looked into a special skill, because it's not only when you are a doctor or whatever. These are another skill that needs a special training, that need people that have got experience. You understand? You have to be very, very vigilant.
But what you're saying is that as we speak, there's a lot of them that are not properly documented.
I will not really allude to that, but I would say most of them are Zimbabweans. Let me just put it there. And most Zimbabweans in this country is either they have the 90 days permit, or they have the special skills, the special permit. So I would not really allude to say they are illegal. No. I will only say if the government wants to assist more or to balance the whole issue, they should give maybe the South Africans that are willing to do this long distance. Remember, and if you are doing the long distance, you're also going to cross the border to another person's country. So that will be another challenge. So it should be something that we should balance to see if you are good in this special truck business, driving outside the country, from South Africa to another country, you are welcome. But one thing I've realized and one thing I've heard has to do with the cut down of the salary. Because I was told they used to get in between 8,000 to 10,000 in the past, but now it has been slashed down to 4,800. And you know, most South Africans that I know that are big truck drivers, they might not go to that level.
So again, these foreign nationals are prepared to work for much less, and that makes it better for the operator to make profits.
Well, to me, I understand that anything goes. If you want to survive, most foreign nationals want to survive on any platform, not really criminality. If you tell me you're going to give me maybe 100,000 rand for something of maybe 200,000, and I look at it as a, well,
but aren't there industry wages that should be paid so that people aren't exploited, and that you're not employing a foreigner because he's desperate, and then a South African who fights for his rights is prejudiced?
This is where the transport minister needs to take cognizance into this issue of wages, because like the industry I belong to, which is security, we have the private security where they regulate. You can easily Google it and get to know if you work so hours, you get so amount of money. So I can stick my neck to say, this is what I want to get paid, because it's already stipulated that I must get, for 12 hours, I must get maybe 200 rand for the whole shift. But in terms of this, if I own trucks and you walk into my place, I saw the billboard that said looking for driver, and I tell you, what's your experience? I say, no, I've been driving for 30 years. Can you have your proof? Kind of like your track record. And if I say your track record seems to be something that I want to get involved with, then I'll employ you. Then I can tell you, this is what I want to pay you. And he said, no, well, it's fine. Yeah, the thing is, people balance to get something.
You're almost suggesting that for some reason, Zimbabwean drivers are better than South African. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't want to put it to say a country is better than another, because even in soccer, we know it fluctuates. South Africa might beat Nigeria today and Nigeria beat South Africa tomorrow. It depends on your choice, how you want to work towards something. If the Zimbabwean guys feel, I want to make a living, and the South African guy believe, I want to wait.
How do we fix this? How do we create an environment where South Africans are not feeling left out, marginalized, and perhaps being put behind in the pecking order, and for foreign nationals to work legally on these trucks without being threatened?
Well, I don't want you to use the word legally, because for them to get a job, maybe from the employer must have taken some consideration that if these guys are not properly documented, they're going to apply the road. The police might stop them, the immigration might stop them. Practically, they must have given them something that will show that they're legal. Do you understand? But the thing in terms of South Africans, I remember when I was working at multi-casino 4 ways, I used to have more shifts during the winter. When my South African friends would say, hey, she's too cold, I don't think I will wake up early in the morning. I said, give me the shift. At the end of the month, I will just say my pay slip is gone. They want to check how many money, how much I've been paid, though it goes into my account. But they know that this guy is whatever. So there will be a little bit of jealousy. But for the government to balance this, is a thing to say, if you're going to employ driver, please consider 70% of South Africans that are willing and with a quote to say, I hope you're not going to take us to CCMA and all those stuff, because that's where most of the business guys want to, like, oh, this guy, any slight opportunity, they attack on you.
All right, so interesting dynamics at play here, but certainly the task team is busy trying to sort it out, and let's hope that a solution is found quite soon, because we can't have a situation where trucks continue to be burnt. But thanks so much indeed for your insights, Prince Adesina.
Thank you very much, Peter.
All right, so we'll leave that story there.